Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another lovely, well, more like exciting episode of our Vampire the Masquerade game. You may have noticed there is going to be a little slight change. We're having technical difficulties with Mr. Holland's visual abilities, so I have a nice, lovely stand-in for him now, but he is here.
Is it ironic that I'm the one that's on camera?
It is ironic. The irony is not lost to me.
I choose this life.
But before we get into it, as always, we want to say we appreciate all you showing up every single weekend. I will never not say that at the beginning of a stream, at the end of a stream, because, well, who am I kidding? You guys make it motivated to keep doing this. And you also keep bringing my players back, because I'm thinking they're starting to feel the burn a little bit. Let's go ahead and have our wonderful coterie mates give their roundabouts.
As always, I am Grayson Holland. I may be known by another name, but for tonight, Grayson's the only one you need to know. And of course, I am a Tremere, trying to stir up a little bit of magic to save us.
Carpe Noctem, everybody. And, oh yeah, Acer.
Was that the end of it?
I don't know. I like to leave people hanging.
All right. Well, hi there. I'm Morgan Caldwell, and I play Crescent, the La Sombra.
And as always, I'm your fair but benevolent storyteller, Peter Needham. And I'll be telling a vampire story tonight. Acer, the world around you plunges into darkness. You can feel the tightened grip of your sister around your arm as slowly dim red emergency lights begin to illuminate the exterior of the laboratory, casting the scene around you in deep, foreboding shadows. Your systems are off, all your technology considered non-essential. What you do know, unfortunately, many of the electronic locks in this facility probably have also just, as per your request, initiated, meaning that many doors are now probably locked in this facility out of sheer safety. Your sister kind of looks around and goes, okay, you have about 5 seconds to tell me this is a prank, right? This is some kind of big joke, right?
I wish it was, as he starts scrambling in his desk drawer for like a flashlight.
It doesn't take long for you to blindly scramble through in some of the dim, reddish emergency light that you're able to pull out a small, high-voltage handheld flashlight, no bigger than maybe the size of your palm. You click it open, and it shines a bright lumen through the entire area, a little beam of light to help you see.
Okay. I did not expect a riot. This is something I did not plan for. And he's going to go over to the wall and again just push the button on the inside.
There is no electricity.
Yes, but all the secret doors have a manual override. I believe I mentioned that last time when we were talking about Crescent's door specifically.
Be specific on which ones you're using. Buttons say electricity, but fair enough. You
Right. The manual override to the secret doors.
Fair enough. You find a little hidden latch between the seam and pull a small, heavy lever. You hear a heavy and the door just ever so slightly releasing itself.
And he's going to push that open, and he's just going to look at his sister and be like, come on, right now, we got to go.
I mean, isn't it safer to here to wait for, I don't know, the police?
I'm going to be completely honest. All the systems are down, which probably means the 911 signal didn't get out. I don't think anyone's coming.
Okay, I knew I should have not come here tonight. And you do see as she stops for a moment to take off her high heels, put them in her bag, and begin following behind you. By the way, you so owe me for dinner for this. This is beyond insane already.
If we live, I owe you 3 dinners. Let's go. We got to find a witch. And I grab her hand and I start going through the tunnels, trying to find the secret entrance to the hospital chambers, because that's where I last saw her on the screen.
Okay, so your secret entrances don't necessarily lead to direct rooms. The way you guys had designed it, the only direct rooms that specifically goes to is your lab and Grayson's secret office. Every other entrance leads out into some section of hallway.
Correct, yes.
You're trying to navigate the one closest to the medical center.
Correct, the closest one we can get to.
Okay. For this, I'm assuming you're trying to be stealthy, correct?
Not within the secret passage, but as soon as we get to the door that's closest to it, then yes, I would like to try and be stealthy.
Peeking around the corners, the heavy darkness of the secret entrances almost choking you all in. You do manage to maneuver your way lefts and rights and roundabouts, leading your ways to what you believe is the sound of the nearby hallways. Just immediately from this position, you can hear the shouting getting louder. The sounds of footsteps nearby, a wall next to you, very loudly as someone is slammed into it, a bit of dust falling in around you. It's pure chaos. And you know you're going to have to step into that. Leading your way into the hallway, you finally find one of the secret doors and press ever so gently and lean in. Go give me a wits plus awareness. Oh no, you're stealthing. Give me a dexterity plus stealth.
It is a skull, 2 of them to be precise.
No successes?
And I only have 2 blood die.
But is there any successes?
No, I have 2 blood die, and they're both skull.
Alrighty. Well, I should be more surprised, but you all have gotten away pretty scot-free lately when it comes to these situations.
Wait a minute. I might be able to save this.
Please
we have
do.
blood die. I can take 1, and if I get a success, it can cancel it.
It's very possible, but I will warn you, you can only do it once per session. So if you take from the group, that's the only one you get this session.
I think
Oh
saving
my
the center is
gosh,
kind of important right now.
Going feral right now would not be a good thing.
You can ride it out.
Okay. Then let me ask, because I'm still not 100% on the feral thing. Exactly what is going to happen to me? Do I go crazy? Do I still have like control, or do I just start attacking everyone? Like, what does this side of me do specifically?
So you aren't 100% what's going to happen. I'm going to be very clear with you. Essentially, in this moment, as you feel the adrenaline, the undead vitae pushing through your half-dead system, the beast is taking over in one way or another. Something has happened where you, for whatever reason, are not going to be very successful at this, to the point of triggering what's called a compulsion. It could be that feral nature. It could be something else.
Okay. This sounds stupid, but hear me out. I think I'm gonna ride the wave.
You're going to keep the failure.
I think I'm gonna keep it. I think I can use it to my advantage.
Okay. Let's see here. I will give you a choice. Because as Derek so kindly pointed out, I'm a bit kinder than he is. But that doesn't mean that I'm still going to pull my punches. Right now, as you slide your head out, you can see 2 individuals. As the flash of motion through darkened red light causes you to jump and startle. As you immediately do see 2 of Grayson's security individuals, Rihanna and Craig. They're thrown back and forth as you hear a wild gunshot blast off, the light startling you for a moment as a bullet ricochets inches from your face. And something snaps within you. You stumble out as the door just slams wide open. And that anger, that bestial fury, finally just snaps. I'll give you one of 2 choices.
Okay.
You can direct your fury outward, or you can choose to direct your anger inward. Of either giving in to your feral instincts, or guaranteed to turn on something that you care about.
Considering my sister is literally 2 inches behind me, definitely going to choose the first option because I don't want to turn on her.
Your sister gently puts a hand on your shoulder trying to pull you back in, and you pull away, almost as if the hair on the back of your neck stands up like a hackle. As you give in to your feral impulses once again, you find yourself breathing heavily like an animal. The small bit of instinct still allowing you to habitually breathe. For now, you cannot speak coherent sentences. You have a 3 dice penalty to all manipulation and intelligence-based rolls.
Mm-hmm.
And you, as you clench your fists, your nails sharpen to points, the animal side comes back out. What do you do?
I'm going to give a look back, and instinctually, I'm going to turn to the right and, as much as possible, like not face her, but like face outward, and just kind of do the over-the-shoulder look with one of my red eyes just glowing.
The light
and
almost
I get
casts.
to say one word, right?
You can speak in broken one-word sentences. Yes.
Excellent. Then he's just going to turn to her and stay, hide. And then he's going to turn back and he's just going to gun forward.
You run immediately out, bolting out. You can hear the hot breath of your sister as she stumbles backward, the sheer ferocity. You know your face is twisted in pure feral rage as you dash straight into the hallway, looking left and right. Some of the fire doors have begun to shut on one side of the hallways, as it seems the sudden shock to the system has caused certain things to malfunction within this facility. But immediately you see 2 individuals. You see the security guards fighting over another. One has already dropped the gun as it slid, spirals out of the way, hitting the clack, where they fight over the one still holding in hands. But both eyes hit upon you. They scream, "It's another one! It's another monster! Fucking shoot it! Shoot it!" You really have no cognitive thought process besides there is a threat in their hand as one of them backs away, falling to the ground in a panic, scooting away as the other one turns to you and open fires.
Right, I forgot. I'm ravenous. So, yeah, fuck it. I'm going to try to knock them both out.
So you're going to try and strike back?
Yep, I'm ravenous. I'm dumb. So,
okay,
yeah, I'm gonna go after them.
Go ahead, give me a strength plus brawl. Which one are you striking for first? The one that has fallen or the one that's shooting at you?
The one that's shooting at me is the bigger threat, so instinctually, I think he would go for that one.
Okay. Go ahead, give me a strength plus brawl.
1 success.
1 success. Not enough. You throw yourself forward as 2 shots fire out, illuminating the entire hallway. You can feel them strike you dead in the chest, stumbling you backwards just as you get within closer range. They happen to step away. You barely recognize the face of Craig as he does 1 point of superficial damage to you, as he beats you by a margin of 1. Rihanna jumps to her feet as she whips out a baton and comes straight after you in this frenzied rage as well.
Yeah, screw it. I'm going to strike at her too, try and knock her out.
All right, still counterfighting. It's going to be another strength plus brawl.
2 successes.
2 successes. It is a tie. As the baton comes swinging wide, you just catch it in one hand. As you grip tight, you hear that wood crack and... It's your go. What do you want to do? As they're both within range of you.
Run. I'm still going to go to the medical ward. That's the last thing I remember wanting to do.
Trying to push away that animal beast, as right now you are feral. Mm-hmm. Everything is best settled with teeth and claws. You have to burn a piece of willpower to try and maintain a little bit of control.
Okay, I'll do that.
All right, take a point of superficial willpower. Go ahead and give me a manipulation plus intimidation.
So I only got 1 roll.
Yeah, 1 die.
Because I have no intimidation. This is going great so far, guys. I love it. 1.
1 success. You're not sure if it's a slight red light that casts from your eyes. But as you utter this word, this deep, vibrating growl, they just look wide-eyed and they just scream. Craig drops the gun as you are point blank from his face. Seeing he took 2 shots to the chest, he's not aware that you are what you are. And he knows he just shot a man. They both turn on the heels and they run. But here's the problem when prey likes to run. It's exciting. It's a thrill. And you can hear the bars of that beast inside begin to break out. And you want to chase them. You want to hurt them. They are prey in your sights, and you don't really want to let them get away, now do you?
I would like to use another willpower to try and satiate that.
You take another point of willpower damage as you force yourself to watch your prey sprint down the hallway, tripping over each other like fools, and slide around the corner. Their footsteps growing fainter and fainter in the distance. You let your prey escape, much to the beast's irritation.
And then I'm going to turn to the medical ward and just say, there are others. And he's just going to walk to the medical ward.
You stalk your way to the medical ward, like a monster hulking through the shadows. Luckily, you're pretty close, and you manage to find it in time, relying on the sounds of crying. Someone is afraid, someone is alone. You're sitting at 3 hunger, correct?
Correct.
In the haze of everything going on, that red haze that covers your eyes, you can smell blood. As you turn and peek your head into the medical ward ever so slowly, the darkened red light of the facility illuminating a small shadow behind a curtain on the end of the room, hugging their knees to their chest, crying softly. That's where the blood is coming from.
Can I recognize who it is?
No. You have no clue who it is, and frankly, you could care less. I'm letting you ride this wave, but you have to keep these feral impulses intact.
Yes, so I'm going to spend another willpower and say 2 words.
Oh, I apologize. I've just double-checked the rules here. This is not quite like Frenzy. You can't actually burn willpower to resist this. I'm actually being serious. That's my apologies.
I can't?
Doesn't look like it. We don't handle compulsion too often. That's actually a misruling on my part.
Oh, I've made a horrible decision. Oh my god, I should have taken the blood die. Oh god.
Well, this is a horror game after all. That compulsion is overriding every member of your faculty. I won't punish you from the earliest one. That was my misruling, but going forward, now that we see it straight, we'll have to continue as such.
Then I can't resist.
It's prey. You smell blood. You're hungry. You're not starving, but you know what? You have been holding yourself back too long, and you can smell weakness. You lunge into the darkened room, the sound of ripping and snarling as you cannonball yourself through the curtain. Your hands meet soft, supple flesh. You hear a woman scream in fear and agony. You bite down hard on an exposed piece of flesh, zoning in as you hear a cry of pain, as you can feel your teeth sink into a slight wound, but you don't have the fangs to pierce. You have teeth. You have normal human teeth, but human teeth can still tear flesh when you bite hard enough. As someone begins to scream wildly in pain, you feel a fist beat against the side of your face, but you're like a rabid animal. You just dig in harder and harder. You pin them to the ground as you can feel your strength, your body weight pressing this woman to the ground. And that's when you feel the burn.
Yep.
You're able to slate 1 hunger before you're able to feel a hand pressed to the side of your face as bright, fiery light burns at the side of you as you take 2 points of aggravated damage, flailing wildly, covering the side of your face that's now just been scarred. I will say, the good side is that it does snap you out. It brings you back to the forefront as pain just rates over the entire side of your body. You slowly look up to see as fresh blood pulls down your medical gown. Looking at you wide-eyed in terror, hands outstretched, glowing with a lit flame on one end, singeing at the front of her fingertips. You see Medico with a massive chunk of flesh torn away from her collarbone as she is covering, looking at you wide-eyed in panic. Hey, sir, you better back the hell up or I'm gonna turn you to fucking ash!
Okay, so I'm snapped out of it, right?
That kind of pain, and I'll say the feeding, is able to satisfy this compulsion.
Okay, so he's just gonna very weakly kind of just get up off the ground and head towards the doorway. He's just gonna be like, "Get to the secret tunnels now!" And then he's just gonna run off.
As you flee into the corridor, clutching the side of your face that's been scalded with pure, intense, arcane heat. You take a stain, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
What's Acer's plan? As you are right now, you're just running left and right through hallways. You stop every now to peek over corners where you can see small bouts of individuals assaulting each other with whatever happened. Rabbit-eyed, you stop for a moment as several of them run past you in almost this feral pack-like mentality. The sounds of chaos are getting louder as you are running through these hallways away from the medical ward. So what are you doing?
I'm going to find the nearest sprinkler system, and I'm going to try to force it by just smashing that little vial that activates it.
You manage to stop for a moment. You end up looking around the corner, seem safe for a moment as you begin kind of pulling some furniture nearby to try and give you a bit of leverage. You are able to get on top of some furniture, able to look up towards one of the sprinkler systems. It's a little bit out of reach. You're going to have to jump and go for it. And as you're going to, you look over as you hear a lot of footsteps coming your way.
Should be fun. You know what? Fuck it. Grab the furniture. I'm going to toss it at the sprinkler system. That should be enough to break it and activate it.
I'll say it's definitely a nearby chair, and it's not too heavy. You're able to, oh god, even with your noodle noise, sounds like a piece of metal breaks as this individual fire extinguisher starts going off before it starts cascading in multiple directions. As now, water is flooding. But as you come back down, you look over down the hall as you see three individuals, three large men, just wide-eyed, frothing their mouth, just charging down the hallway. And they're going to try and grab you.
The only thing I can do. Attack back and hope I do enough damage to knock them out.
All right. So, first one individual coming straight at you. It's going to make if you're just attacking back, it's going to be a strength plus brawl. Unless you're trying to hurt them with something. I mean, there is now this splintered wood upon the ground from this chair that you've thrown at the ceiling.
Yeah, fuck it. I'll use it like a baton.
All right, I'll allow you to use melee then.
So much more dice. Hallelujah. 3 successes.
3 successes. Not enough. As you swing by, you actually recognize that retired vet, the one that Grayson had calmed down from his divorce, just wide-eyed and manic, is able to put both hands upon you and begins holding you down, one arm holding against you, holding your piece of chair leg on one side, his full arms, his weight pushing you against the ground as he's able to pin you to the floor. Immediately, 2 others immediately just, I got him! He knows what it is! He's got the stuff! You get him, boys! As the other 2 descend upon you and begin trying to pry your mouth open.
Oh, joy. I'm just going to use the other hand, grab the piece of wood, and try to knock someone out again.
Okay, we're going with 3 in, 3 out. So your second attempt, as you're trying to break free, give me a strength plus brawl.
3 again.
3 successes. That's just enough. As these 2 individuals dive on top of you, trying to pry your mouth open, you're able to reach yourself by and swing wide. You feel wood connect against something blindly. You hear someone screech out in pain as they stumble backwards, hitting the ground. That is the point of bludgeoning damage to them, but you are still being held down, and one individual is still trying to get you open. Your mouth starting to separate forcefully and painfully. What are you doing?
Gonna bite down on whoever has my jaw.
Fair enough. Go ahead, for this is going to be a strength plus melee, I believe. Yes, I'm going to rule with that. Stick with brawl, actually, because it's fighting.
One success.
One success. Let's see here. As he begins to force your jaw open, you let yourself go slack for a moment before going wide and hard down on the hand, causing you to pull back. And ironically beat him up with a margin of 1. You bite down hard and hard until you feel blood fill your mouth as you feel bone in your teeth snap. As you just taken someone's finger off. He reaches back in pain, stumbling backward, crouching onto his now torn open hand, just screaming in agony. You still got the last one looking at you as he holds you down.
I'm going to smack him with the stick, too.
By strength plus melee.
It's legitimately all I can do. I have, no pills on me. Only one success. This is going great, guys. I love this. Actually, sorry. I'm going to use a willpower to roll 3 back die.
All right. You got a point of superficial willpower.
That jets me up to a 4. 4
successes. That will beat him. As you're able to swing wide, just with everything you have, you're able to reach your arm free just enough and slam this individual in the face. I believe his name was Kyle. As you hit Kyle straight in the face, causing him to stagger backward. He covers his face as you can see blood begin to pool down the front of his nose. You can hear the sound of cartilage crack as he lets go of you for a brief moment, allowing you just enough time to wiggle and escape. What are you doing?
Are we currently in a hallway where there are open rooms?
Currently, you're in a T-intersection style hallway. There are 3 different places you can go. There are some rooms nearby if you're going to try and go through them. But you're not sure if those doors are going to be open or not.
Don't know what to fucking do, so yeah, I'm going to close this door, open it up.
Let's go ahead and see if this door is locked or not. The door gives as you're able to turn it and throw the door open, slamming it shut behind you. You look around you, you're in what appears to be a counseling room. There are some windows in this space, but you're able to get inside. So you can hear the 3 outside groaning and moaning and slowly getting to their feet. What do you do?
Is there anyone inside?
Looking around, you don't see anybody.
Hey, then I'm going to spit out the fingers that I bit down on.
To your disgust, as you spit out onto the ground, a bit of blood pooling down the front of your mouth, as sweet and savory as it is, you see you bit off somebody's thumb.
Hope he doesn't plan on being an artist. And is my phone okay at this point?
Checking your phone. It's still intact.
I'm gonna speed dial Michael.
As you speed dial the phone, you could hear, "I know I went here!" The door behind you vibrating and slamming as the phone rings. You could feel that cold, bloodied sweat down your back coming. Pick up, pick up, pick up, pick up, pick up. Finally. What is it now?
911, this entire place has gone fucking mental. I need your help really badly.
Wait, what the fuck are you talking about? What do you mean out of order? Is Crescent doing something?
No, not Crescent. It's everyone else. Everyone's gone into a fucking riot after the feeding.
All right. Are you okay? Are you safe?
Barely.
Hey, we're closing up shop. Get the fuck out. I'm on my way. He hangs up.
And with that, he just kind of presses himself against the door as hard as he possibly can.
And for now, as you deal with this, we're going to go ahead and fade away. Lee Crescent and Grayson's situation is no much better. As UV light bakes down all around you, you're able to cross this very short gap distance, clinging yourself right next to Crescent. As Crescent, you are shaking. As you put a small bit of hand out to the light and psst, it is hot to the touch. The PA. Oh. You didn't think it'd be as easy just to walk in here, did you, Grayson?
Stop talking!
I think I'm going to talk all I want.
You're right. You won't be able to do it much longer. You think you are tortured, stone? Do you think you've had it hard? Do you? Oh, yes. Terrible, terrible life. And I just happen to be the one to pull the veil back, so fine. Your anger is justified. I'll give you that. As I lean down to Crescent, do you have your weapons?
Of course I got my weapons.
Shoot the lights out quickly as you can.
I'm going to look around and see if there's a spot that I can actually see, like, the bulb of the UV lights.
So,
or at least a few of them.
I'll say go ahead and make a wits and awareness as Stone continues. No! I didn't suffer that bad, but the moment that you touched my life, I have. You took everything from me. Everything! So now, I'm going to return the favor. I'm going to give a freak like you a taste of your own fucking medicine. The PA cuts as you hear the sounds of machines beginning to whirl to life. And off in the distance, as you kind of peek around the corner ever so slightly, Grayson, you do see a series of hooked chains about maybe 16 feet off the ground towards one side of the facility begin to spring to life and begin to slowly start chugging forward.
That's 4 successes on my end. 4
successes. Careful to look around from this very small bit of shadow that you have. You're able to see there are several workman's lights facing different angles of this facility. You count 1, 2, 3, 4 different work lights in different angles in 4 different directions. However, it's only you can see in this room, as there's only one entrance into the next space of this facility, where it appears to be some mechanical meat processing hooks are now disappearing into a wall about 16 feet off the ground up towards your upper left, about 6 or 7 feet away. Regardless, you're going to have to get into the next room.
So the UV lights that are shining towards the entrance to the next room, can I see them?
If you care from where you are, yes, you can see all 4 of them. It's hard to get an angle on them from where you're standing, though.
It's okay. I have trick shot for a reason. I'm going to try and shoot them.
All right. How are you trying to trick shot this?
Whew.
So what kind of lights are they? They're like fixture-wise, because there are some that have like a
bulbs.
So they're very
like
large construction. They're kind of like large construction workman's lights, the kind that you would see painters or spacklers or other individuals that you could pick up at any hardware store. However, the bulbs inside them are very bright, incandescent UV bulbs.
They're sitting on a tripod.
Yes. All of them are at different elevations to try and cover as much of this room as possible.
I'm going to try and go for the tripod.
Okay, so you're trying to ricochet a shot, just hit the tripod itself.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to say for this, there are 4 of them. It's going to take some time to try and hit all of them, or you could try and be quick and expose yourself. It's going to hurt.
I'm going to turn to Grace and take advantage of the opportunity I'm going to give you, and then I'm take out as many as I can.
All right, you grit and you fling yourself into cover as you bring out both your pistols, full auto, begin spraying in this almost roundabout circle around you, trying to hit as much as you can. You can immediately feel your flesh begin to cook and singe as this blinding UV pain begins to tear at you from the outside. But go ahead and give me a Dex plus firearms with your trick shot specialty.
Luckily, that is like 9 dice, I think.
It's going to be a bit of a hard shot, try to get all of them at once, but it is possible.
That's 10 with a messy crit.
10 with a messy crit.
And I'm keeping it.
You're keeping the messy critical.
Yes.
Okay. So, you scream in agony as you fling yourself into the open center of the field. You see 4 targets as you can feel yourself singeing like a cooked piece of bacon in a hot skillet. And you begin to spin wildly, just full autoing as far as you can, as bullets just ring out in a far-ass shot. You hit your targets. The bullets ricochet, bounce, spark, bounce left and right. Things fall over. Tripods start going over one after another. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bulbs shatter and spark. And then all is plunged into darkness. As you sit there, just clenching your fangs in pain as you've taken 2 points of superficial damage. you can smell gas. You can smell fuel. As you slowly begin to readjust to your surroundings, shaking in pain, sparks fly. As it appears that some discarded chemicals that have been left behind in this facility have also been struck by your blind fire. In your haste and aggression, it seems you have damaged something very volatile left behind, as you can hear the sound of electrical as a fire is now beginning to start in this building.
I grab her and I start moving towards the hooks.
You're going to avoid the door altogether. You're going to take the mechanical entrance off to the far side.
Yeah, no, I don't trust doors anymore.
All right, for this, I'm going to need, if you're both doing it, I'm going to give you a strength plus athletics. You have to climb your way up there, and it is rickety. There are service staircases that seem to go along the side of the wall that as you're all taking, but the metal is old, twisted, rusted, and warped, and it's leaning to one side. It is...
For both of us, strength and athletics?
Either strength and athletics or dexterity athletics, depending on how you want to do it.
4 successes again.
4 successes for me as well.
4 successes.
Woo!
And
yes.
for you, Crescent?
4.
4 as well. Grayson, as you pick up Crescent and pull her to her feet, you can still smell some of the singe burning off the side of her flesh, her hair kind of curling in ever so slightly, a little bit of blackened char kind of coming across the front of her features. You pick her up to her feet and begin hauling. You look at the staircase. Don't want to balance on that. You manage to get a little leverage and you just throw yourself up and manage to just barely catch onto one of the hooks. Using pure upper body strength, you heave yourself onto the chain as it begins pulling you forward. But as you do so, Crescent, you are already right on his heels where you finally shake off the pain, run up those steps, bounce off the large piece of steel beam that are still anchored very tightly to the wall without even touching the most rickety portion of the scaffolding. You're able to vault off and even gain an extra few distance right in front of Grayson and grab onto the chain, just swinging very gently right in front of him. You keep your wits about you as you lean forward and you can already see more bright light at the end of this tunnel. Just in time, you are able to kind of pull yourself back as it's still slowly pulling you all forward to this processing plane. You can hear the sound of very faint muffled cries or the sound of machinery. But Crescent, as you get closer and closer, you can feel that familiar heat once again. This room is lit with UV as well. Before you've entered into this room, if you guys want to react.
Grayson, do you want me to go after Danica or Stone?
I think I have a better chance of getting Danica with the coat and the mask.
All right.
He's expecting me to do this trial, not you.
Yeah. Meet back in the center if something happens.
Agreed. And Crescent.
Mm-hmm.
Don't make him suffer. Poor
Don't
thing's already
make
been
him
through
suffer.
enough.
Now take off to where I think Stone would be.
Okay. You once, twice, and leap ready. Immediately you can feel that spurn over you once again, Crescent, as you leap into the light, but are able to land and tuck and roll just barely into a shady space, crouching yourself extremely low, able to avoid any lasting damage. Grayson, you are able to throw yourself as well as you both land. Grayson, you're leading a little bit farther away, not able to get the same kind of distance as Crescent, kind of bracing yourself up against the barricade that casts a little bit of shadow you're able to crouch behind, covering you some protection, your clothes adding to the resistance. You see around you, this seems to be a very dilapidated processing section where the actual work in the facility would happen. All around you are prepping tables, large rolling pieces of machinery and conveyor belts that are pushing just nothing, as this particular space has been completely abandoned. But you do see sharp implements laying about, rusted pieces of metal and ceiling that have fallen in, a little bit of snow piled here and there, as this entire building has become very dilapidated. Grayson, you peek around trying to find where you need to head towards next. And you do see Danica on the far side of the plant as she is suspended, struggling as very weakly as you can see her face. It's just covered in bruises. Her hair is sweaty, plastered the front of her face as she just struggles, bound by rope and chain on one of the processing hooks. And you can see as she's slowly moving across the room to a large processing vat where you can hear the sounds of whirling machinery. Grayson, what do you do?
I'm looking for the quickest way to give me an angle to either jump to her and hang on the line that she is on. And, get up there as quickly as I can.
Okay. To get up there quick, it will expose yourself if you're trying to get quickly.
I don't have time. Yep.
Okay.
I'm going to the jacket. If it's not zipped, it's zipped. The hood is up. The gloves are on. I am covering as much as myself as I can.
Okay. So you keep yourself embraced and you begin running out. You end up running towards a nearby bit of machinery on a conveyor belt that gives you a bit of leverage as you're able to try and leap towards the processing hooks. Go ahead and give me another strength plus athletics as you can feel that warmth begin to set in through the clothes ever so slightly. It's not burning instantaneously, but you're going to feel it in a minute.
Okay. 2 successes.
2 successes. You're able to just reach and able to grab on and hold on to it, just barely catching your grip as you're able to swing up to the side, up to an upper rafter. As soon as you land, though, Stone's going to make his move. As you have willingly allowed yourself to be open. As soon as you land and turn around and resume the surroundings, you see all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a projectile flying straight towards you. You do have rapid reflexes. You can try and dodge.
Yes, I will. Rapid reflexes.
Go ahead and give me a dexterity plus athletics.
2 successes.
2 successes.
Don't have much athletics, unfortunately.
Not enough, unfortunately. As you were able to see it just in time, you lean out of the way, just in fact to feel something strike you in the chest, and it spins you around as you feel sudden pain. You hit the ground onto this metal raptor, sending vibrations to this entire upper level, as Danica is maybe 6 feet away from you, still slowly moving. And you, God, pain! You look to your shoulder and see a piece of wooden crossbow bolt sticking out of your shoulder. You hear Stone, "It's not gonna be that easy, my friend!"
A little archaic, don't you think? Oh, that's right. You're a superstitious idiot who got himself stuck in something and cried about how he got stuck and he can't get out.
You just don't fucking get it, do you?
What don't I get, Stone? You wandered into my life and ruined me. Don't you dare sit there and act like you're the only victim.
I was just doing my job!
You wandered into a world that you knew you were. You think... God, you're so human.
Crescent, since you're the one looking for Stone, you see the shot move out. This blur of wood just strike Grayson in the shoulder as he hits the ground. Go ahead and give me what's awareness, see where it came from. As Grayson, you did take 2 points of superficial damage.
Okay.
That's 3 successes?
3 successes. As you're keeping an eye out, Grayson, you hit the cold pavement. You have this exchange. I'm assuming you have now ticked back into aggravated status.
That would be correct. I have just regained.
You are inhibited. There is now suffering a 2 dice penalty to all of your physical attributes, as the many wounds you have been trying to withstand are now mounting. Your body is not moving the way you want it to. Despite how hard you will the Vitae to push your corpse, you are very quickly returning to that state. You are in danger. The Crescent, as you see Grayson slowly manage to pull himself together, looking a bit worse for wear. You're able to see just a bit of flock of brown hair, maybe about 12 feet away from you, peek out of cover to fire a shot before you see him, Stone, diving back into cover. You hear the sounds of rapid breathing.
How far away is he from me?
From where you are, looks like he's about 12 feet away, roughly. One thing you will notice, Crescent, though, that fire's spreading fast. It seems your guys' time window of opportunity is going to be running short very quickly.
I'm going to use my rapid reflex to get up there as quick as I can and immediately point a gun at Stone.
So you're going to try and get a flank on him?
Yes.
Rapid reflexes, you move fast. Let's see here. Does it say how far you can move? If you want to get a shot at him, you're going to expose yourself.
I want to aim directly at him, whatever the cost.
Okay. You allow yourself to dash out into an unsafe position, allowing the light to fully bathe you in pain and agony as you can get a better angle upon him. He is in a sorry state. He is filthy. His hair matted and rooted into his face. You can see bruising and all manner of just city ilk just covering his face. You can almost smell the faintest scent of BO that kind of laces over the top of this ancient, dusty, old meatpacking plant. He's wearing just tattered, raggedy clothes, and as you've just aimed your sights, you unload. Go ahead and give me a dexterity plus firearms.
Nice. 8 successes.
8 successes. Grayson, from your perspective, as you're able to finally get to your feet and look over, your eyes make contact with Stone as he looks up to you. His filthy, ragged exterior as Crescent, faster than the eye can perceive, allows herself to fling into the open light. As Crescent, you two take another 2 points of superficial damage. As that scalding begins to flare up on the side of your body, just singeing your features. And you watch as she unloads and makes contact. You see, within a split second, a hail of bullets strikes Stone. You hear Gah! As bullets ricochet and pierce through metal, pierce through side, pierce through flesh as he hits the ground hard. He's not moving.
As I see that, I'll whip back around, but it's a moment for a second, or like maybe a split second, not really perceivable. There's that moment he takes an extra look at Stone's body and just in his head he says, "For the record, you were innocent. It's just wrong time, wrong person, Stone." And I whip back around and I'm going to make my way over to Danica as quick as I can.
You do take another point of superficial damage as you're feeling the heat begin to actually cause pain underneath your clothes. It is keeping it at bay, but it's not going to keep it forever as you're starting to feel the pain. You're able to run around the railing and actually, without Stone hailing you, make it to the other side and catch up to her as they're not moving that slow. You see Danica very limply look at you, and as you can see, she is gagged and bound by the mouth as she is on a piece of hook that is pulling her towards this very large vat. Looking over, you can actually see the machine parts whirling very quickly. These are blades.
Of course it is.
Is there any sort of switches next to me?
Looking around, you do see not too far away, up a nearby rickety old staircase, there seems to be a very large control operations room. What appears to be like an office or a place of central location where machinery could be controlled, possibly.
I'm just going to go up and I'm going to put my hand on it. I don't really need to press anything, I assume.
You are fast enough. With a blink of an eye, as Grayson, you're able to make it up to Danica, grabbing hold of the chains, I'm assuming. You see
yes.
Crescent just dash up into this very large office space, this overhanging viewpoint onto the factory floor, and almost like the drop of a hat, the chains just stop.
I don't even waste a minute. I'm at least trying to get her unhooked off the chain.
I'll say with this, without Stone keeping an eye on you, the only threat is the light that you continue to expose yourself to in this particular round, so to speak. With effort, you're going to heave, even in your weakened state, Danica, luckily she's not too heavy, and heave her off this hook as it just kind of rattles to an unstable halt. She kind of squeals a little bit in panic as you're able to get her off the hook. You have her in your arms, but you're starting to still feel that singe.
Is there anywhere that I can, basically, is there any shadow so I could just take a moment to gather myself?
You're going to have to drop down. You have to jump it if you want to be quick with her on your shoulder.
How far down is it?
Looking over is probably about maybe a 12-foot drop.
Oh, that's not too bad. Yeah, I need to get out of this light. And
Rapid reflex.
Oh, yeah, good point. Would rapid reflex aid me in this situation?
It would get you down there faster.
All right, I want off of this conveyor belt and all the craziness that comes with it.
You immediately jump off, just almost parkour over the side with Danica. I'm sure she screams as you both plummet very quickly. Just for checking's sake, go give me a strength plus athletics. Actually, dexterity plus athletics for your landing. Because you are carrying an individual on your shoulder jumping 12 feet.
That is true. I'll take the 2.
2? It sends that teeth-clenching rattle through your bones as you let go. That doesn't feel very good. As you feel your legs shake, but don't take any damage, luckily. As you're able to kind of tuck yourself.
Sit her down and like slap my legs, try to get that like that numb, that nerve out of like, shit.
Danica's on the ground as you both take cover in the darkness. The limited amount of shadow that you have in this small space between a very large bit of some kind of mixing vat or some kind of machinery, old and rusted, half turned over onto one side, as its supports have long worn away, giving this precarious angle. You look over to Danica and she's had a rough of it. As you can see, she's just wrapped up tight with several layers of rope.
First thing I'm doing is going to unbind her, just get the mouth gag.
Oh God! Oh, please don't hurt me either.
Okay, next time, could you at least tell me the destination for your vacation? Because this place, I can think of at least 30 places that are much better than this.
Grayson?
As I lift up the mask and show my probably half-cooked face, yeah, Danica, it's me.
You look like shit. Why are you wearing makeup?
We have a lot of things to talk about. I pick her up and I look for, exactly, I leave it up on that, and I look around for Crescent, we're leaving!
Crescent, you look over through the open window as you've placed your hand over the console. It begins to flicker uncontrollably due to your pain. And you look over, you do see Grayson has successfully retrieved Danica. At the moment, she's not in immediate harm, and he does call for you. You do hear him. Was there anything specifically you want to do?
No, I just want this place to burn. Find the quickest way out.
I'll say it's not too hard. Mr. Holland, with your... Oh, you on the first level, there are windows nearby. Do you at least cut her free, or are you just full-on carrying her?
No, I will, I'll unbind her as best I can. I'll take one of my fingers and cut the rope.
The rope severs in your fingernails as you're able to free her, and she very gratefully just throws herself around your neck, just hugging into you, burying her face into your neck as she is just sobbing. From this perspective, you can see that she is filthy, sweaty. You can see bruises all over her face, all over her arms, hard ligature marks where the ropes have cut into her. But overall, not necessarily harmed.
Oh, thank goodness. Good. You're okay. You're all right, Danica.
She begins sobbing into your neck and hysterics. I was gonna die.
No, we weren't. We found you.
Can we just go? Please, can we go?
I'm going to pick her up and just let her arms around me, keep her arms there, and I just lift her up and I start making my way. Yeah, you know what? Salty's out the door. I'm just going to elbow a window on the first floor and just step out.
You're able to bust out an old fractured window and help her out. You immediately hop yourself out. Immediately feel the cooling relief as you're now out in the darkness and able to move away from this hard light. Crescent, behind you, there's simply a window that you can just leap out of if you wish.
I will leap out of it.
You pop the window open and throw yourself over. Just for prosperity, give me a dexterity and athletics as you do fall a story down.
And this would still count under fleetness?
Yes, it lasts for the scene, so you can add your celerity to the roll.
4 successes again.
4 successes, easy as pie. You land in the softened snow with a cat-like crunch. And together, you all begin to make your way around towards the front of the building as some slight explosions from the upper levels go off as old, abandoned, other substances, other flammable individual processes begin to burst. The lights begin to slowly go out. The only thing still illuminating the space as you all congregate to the front of this old factory is the glowing embers that begin to rage out the side of each open window. Glass bursting, things breaking on the inside, smoke billowing out like a monster.
We have a slight problem.
Okay, what's that?
We brought my bike.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we did.
Hi, Danica.
She kind of shies away from you as she leans towards Grayson.
Might remember me as Haley?
Yeah, I remember. Took me a bit. You're just a lot more unnerving to be around than you used to be. For what it's worth, I'm really happy to see you.
Yeah, happy to see you too. So, how do we want to get out of here? Because we need to leave this as soon as possible.
This moment, as this old meatpacking plant in Soto goes up in flames, Danica does trip up and goes, well, if anyone's got a phone, I could wait here, probably inevitably until a fire truck shows up.
I don't think we're leaving you alone again.
I don't really see much of a choice. I don't think 3 people are going to sit on a bike if you have to scuttle. Ow. As she does kind of lean against Grayson for the support.
I'm definitely keeping her up. One of my arms like draped around her waist, and like kind of adding that extra support pillar. But
I'm going to look away from that.
She does lean into and she grabs onto the front of their zipped up jacket, kind of lean her face into you just for comfort. And she does, God, you smell like shit.
Okay, thank you. You also smell like shit.
I know, it's the best thing ever right now.
Fact. Okay, remember when Danica? What do you feel like doing? Do you want to go home?
Yeah, I see that be the next best thing, honestly.
Fair enough.
It's safe.
I mean, how far away is her place from here now?
From here,
Yeah.
it is by walk a decent walk. You're actually you're much closer to the treatment center than you are her house.
We should just go back to the treatment center at this point. At least for tonight.
That's fair. We can get you showered up there at least.
Well, at this point, I just want to be away from this place.
No, that's fair. Okay.
Get walking then. What should I do with the bike? I can't fit 3 people on it. I mean, we can try.
I don't know if I want to risk that.
I could hoof it to the center. I could wait for an emergency service. I mean, right now we have a giant beacon into the sky that's probably telling somebody that I'm here.
All right, we are not leaving you alone.
Yeah, we can't. I'm not going to leave you here. Number one, none of us should be here if anybody does in fact show up.
Well, I mean, like, I'm going to lean in. You're kind of supposed to be dead. So, I mean, if you can ride the bike back to the center, I can walk with Danica back. Otherwise, if anybody shows up, I mean, you're going to kind of blow your cover.
Shit. You're right.
Yeah. Not exactly that I trust you to ride. Actually, no, I do trust you. But have you ever ridden a bike?
Have in the past. In my previous life, I take a dirt trail or 2.
And you need to be as far away from here as I gesture to the fire as possible.
Glass shatters out, not too far away.
Okay, you know what?
That was.
Yeah, that was loud.
At least his body's gonna be like in. Oh, wow, I shouldn't say that so loud.
I slowly turned my head to her.
Danica's just looking at you, Crescent. Just.
You know what?
Person.
He was a person that came after you and attacked you. Since I look over to Crescent again, this time kind of like, oh, we just said the same thing.
Yeah, I've killed people for a lot less. Trust me, I'm on your side with this one.
Okay, but seriously, yes, Crescent, do you think you can get back to the center? I have a little bit of money, at least maybe enough to maybe for a taxi or something to get you guys closer?
We should probably walk a little bit away from the burning building, though, if we're going to call for a taxi in Soto.
Fair enough. I'm going to... So I go next to Crescent, I hold up my hand like, okay, I'll take the bike, I'll get back to the center, I'll meet you guys there.
I'm going to give him the keys and just kind of hold it for a second and just be like, take care of her.
It's me. It's me.
I know.
It's me.
Glad you're okay.
So I lean in kind of close to Crescent, like, for all it's worth, I'm really glad I had you with me. I can't thank you enough again. You are literally keeping me alive. Unalive.
In any case, you should probably get a meal as soon as you get back. You're looking kind of like under the eyes. I mean, I am too, but still, not the point.
Yeah, we'll work on that. It's done. It's done now. Danica's safe. We're okay. You guys get to the center. Danica, as I reach in, as I pull out my phone, is it still working?
It's surprisingly still intact. You didn't really take any hard falls.
I assume it has a good amount of charge, at least.
Oh, yeah. It's fine.
Okay. Going to send a message to Acer really quick. Acer, on our way back. Got our friend. See you soon. I click send, and I hand my phone to Danica.
You do receive this message, Acer.
I'm going to quickly send a message back saying entire facility is fucked. Riots from the inside.
Does this go off in my hand?
It does. As you're handing it over, Danica slowly reaches to take the phone. As you do see it responds almost immediately.
Wow, that was quick. As in her hand, I open it up and open the message. Like, okay, let's see what he said. Fuck! And I go over to the bike and I immediately start it up and get going.
Wait.
I'm not going to drive off, but I'm going to ride up to Crescent, the facility. Something's going on.
Great. Go on. Go.
All right. I trust you guys, okay? Just be safe.
Yeah. Go.
Remember, take the other ways with her. It's fine if she knows. And I'm going to drive off.
The bike just peels out as you just are left alone, Crescent. The tail light of your bike quickly fading off in the dark as Grayson drives off. A little wobbly at first on the turn, but he's able to ride himself, heading onto the main street. As you're left alone with Danica, as she just slowly looks at you.
I'm awkwardly turning to her.
She slowly turns to you as she does step a little bit away from you. This is a long night, isn't it?
You know I'm not going to hurt you, right?
She doesn't say anything as she just kind of starts walking.
That's fair. Center's that way.
I know which way it's going, but do you think it's a smart idea that I be going that way?
Towards the center? Why?
Grayson just said it's going to hell too.
I don't know what we should be doing.
Grayson, did you give Danica your phone before you left?
Yes, I did. I believe I got the message, and that's all I need to know before I kept the phone. I left the phone with them in her hand.
Danica holds onto Grayson's phone. She flips it open. You need to go.
Why?
I'm going home. I'm going to use this phone. I'm going to call a ride. I'm going to go sit underneath a bus stop until they get here. You need to go. And Haley, thanks for helping Grayson come get me. You're a lot different than I remember. But I'm still grateful you're here.
I'll at least stay with you till your ride comes.
She just nods her head as you both begin walking across the street. She kind of takes point.
I'm just going to stay quiet.
It's not too far away as you cross several blocks of old Soto. Danica doing her best to kind of stay out of the main thoroughfare, even at this time of night. There are some people out, but not much. Most people have more like been alerted to the massive blaze that is now going in this industrial district. The sounds of fire engines are not too far away, as first responders are already picking up calls and reports of the fire.
I really... that different?
She slowly and carefully, with you and still in eyesight, has managed to turn a corner, and there's an old bunch best underneath a bright light. And as she sits down, you get closer to this light. It flickers a little bit right above you. She slowly looks at you. Just, I want to say something as simple as, like, you don't smile like you used to. You always used to smile. It's just, I'm afraid of you. It's not like Grayson. She sits down, folding her hands in her lap, shivering a little bit as the snow begins to come down. And she's still what appears to be in PJs.
I'm going to take off my jacket and give it to her.
She kind of flinches a little bit as you move towards her, but allows you to slowly put your jacket on her. She pulls it over her tightly. As you see her, she kind of pulls to the phone. You see her start scrolling through. Guessing probably she's calling a ride through a rideshare app. And she just nods. I know. It's just, you... when I'm next to Grayson, I feel, despite what he is, okay. I don't feel like he'd ever hurt me. I feel safe. He's always so got it figured out and was so matter of fact about what happened to the point where I almost didn't believe it. It wasn't until he actually showed us proof that I had to believe it was true. But he's never hurt anyone. But I don't know why. I look at you and I see you. I recognize you the very first moment I saw you again, and I wanted nothing more just to pop your little head off with how hard I wanted to hug you. But for some reason, I look at you and you don't look like that same girl that was in our facility. You don't look like Haley. You are her. I know you are in my mind, but when I see you, you look like you're dead.
No, I get it.
And I feel like I'm trapped in a cage with a predator.
I guess I'm going to take a few steps away from her. You're right to feel that way about Grayson. He's not going to hurt you.
He never has. He's just really fucking naive, but he never has. I'm sorry that I put you all in this mess, though.
None of this is your fault. Please don't think any differently of Grayson for this. Okay?
I don't. Just... She takes a very deep, shaky breath. As you can now see the tears just begin to flow out of her, and she begins to sob. The stress physically overwhelming her with everything that's happened. She pulls her feet up to her chest as she just begins to cry, almost hysterically, to herself.
I'm going to start to reach out, but then remembering kind of what I am and the effect that I have, I'm just going to pull back.
And like a monster you are, you take a step back into the shadows, away from the light.
And I'll just wait where she can't see me, but where I can still see her, and just make sure that she gets into her ride, okay?
Soundlessly, you begin to step away from Danica, allowing yourself to meld within the shadows. What goes through your mind, Crescent, as the sounds of a roaring flame burn off in the distance? One chapter begins to close itself. What do you feel in this moment as you look at Danica breaking down in front of you as you're almost worlds apart?
I want to help. but I also know that I can't, and I'm feeling a little bit helpless. I think at this point, all I want really is Eleonora, especially knowing that there's chaos going on back at the center. Just conflicted. Conflicted between like the human side and the kindred side.
As your emotions run high, I need you to go ahead and make an intelligence plus resolve. As the thoughts of your sire begin to push you, that comfort needed.
So, only 3. Oh, that's a lot less dice than what I've been dealing with. Yay! 2 successes.
You have been through a lot tonight. You did a good thing. You should feel happy about it. You helped Annika. You saved her. You're the one that killed Stone. You solved the problem. With a pull of a trigger, it's just gone. Snuffed out. Someone's probably going to find his charred body and not be able to identify him without dental records. Despite doing the right thing, you don't feel good. You're trying so hard to grab on to this humanity. Try and dig yourself back to where you feel you should be. But in this moment, it couldn't feel farther away. As you stand there in the shadows, letting Danica just scream her heart out in stress and in fear from what she's been through, you realize that divide is ever growing. You're not human anymore, Crescent. You should cry with her, run to her, comfort her, be there for her, be human with her. But the tears don't fall. The stress doesn't hit you. In fact, you'd rather be anywhere else but here. Before you know it, you find yourself walking silently into the alleyways, into the dark, never even making sure Danica even found a ride. As you slip back into the world of darkness, you want to find your sire. You're starving. You've done your job. You need to eat. You have to. And there's only one kindred that could satiate that thirst. So you give in. You slip away into the dark and begin the long walk towards Eleanor's cathedral as your bond pulls you. Now we go back to Grayson. And trusting Crescent to watch over Danica for you, you gun it back towards the center. Luckily, no roll required. You're not too far away. The scene that unfolds before you is pure chaos. Your bike kind of skitch and bounces a little bit off the curb as you pull into the front gate. You can immediately tell there's something wrong. All the lights in the facility are out. There is not a lick of theatrical light, atmospheric light, internal lights, nothing. All you can see is a slight pulsing of red glow inside the facility, signifying that there has been a severe power outage. You lean out to this, you get out, hop off the bike and look at the security booth and see there's no one in there. And you can faintly hear the shouts of screams as a window in the upper story shatters, and you see 2 bodies flailing out the one side of it, disappearing into the decorative bushes below on the first floor.
Oh, Jesus fucking... Come on! I'm gonna run to the garage as quickly as I can.
As you go running and begin booking it, it's taking maybe about 20 minutes to get back. But as you do, you can hear the sound of a very loud Harley right behind you as lights kind of flash over you.
I rapid reflex getting the fuck out of the way of that.
You tuck and roll just as the front gate, the drop bar, splinters open as flying by you, pulling the bike to a side stall. You can't believe your fucking eyes as you see Michael swinging his massive body over the side of his Harley in full leather. Hey! The fuck is going on here?
I would like to know that very much. I just got back.
Oh, shit. Is he in here alone?
Who? Oh, God. Acer.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Well, I'm here to help. What do you want me to do? This is your place after all. But I can start smashing heads. I can do that really quick.
Okay, what the fucking hell. Okay. Not smash. Let's knock some heads. Just put them out. Put out of consciousness.
Fair enough. Well, considering the fact that there seems to be some massive fucking fire on the downtown, we might get a little bit of breathing time before cops stop showing up. So, how about this? You go find Acer. I'm gonna go bust through a wall and start putting people down, huh?
Okay. Please careful. You know what? Fuck it. Just please. Michael, number one, thank you so much for being here. I don't know who the fuck called you. Probably Acer. I don't care. Yeah. Sounds like a good plan. I'm gonna go downstairs.
Good luck. He just very awkwardly just gives you finger guns before spinning on his heels and just you see him just soaring leap through the air, just covering vast amounts of distance as he seems to, in 2 bounds, you see he actually lands at the top story of your facility.
Holy shit. Okay. Good. And with that, I'm going to make my way quickly as I can through the garage. I'm going to try and get down to the lab.
The first struggle is already apparent. As you get down the garage, you put in your code, try and get the door open. It doesn't lift.
You gotta be fucking kidding me. There's no power. Is it still... can I try to lift it and see if it is locked or not?
You put your fingers underneath it, you lift up, and it is latched.
Okay, that's fine. I still have the keys for the front entrance. I'm going to go to the front entrance.
You make your way around the front, taking the time to make it to the front entrance as the sounds of chaos only grow louder. You hear people screaming incoherent sentences. As you kind of pass by a window, you duck down just to see about 3 or 4 of them just running like pack animals through the hallway, almost foaming at the mouth, wide-eyed. And it hits you in a way.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you're watching someone completely breaking down. Like they're going through withdrawals. Completely at loss of themselves. The sounds you're hearing, it's very familiar to some kind of withdrawal. As you just see more of these individuals just all flying off the handle, some beating themselves. You kind of duck down as glass shatters overhead as someone's head snaps backwards as there's this full-on assault as he's just being beaten over the head. Blood kind of trickles down in front of you. Not enough to really cause that itch, but you can already smell it as this entire facility is just in full chaos.
Okay, there's somebody in front of me, right?
Currently,
somebody getting beaten?
Currently, right above you, there is someone being beaten, as his head is barely hanging up to maybe about a foot right above you.
I'm going to look over the top back up. Hey! Relax, calm down. Talk to whoever's beating on them.
Are you trying to dominate him?
Yes, I am, actually.
Almost instantly, as you just make eye contact, this younger individual, this young teenage man, just eyes hit you. There's this wide-eyed ferocity to him as he just stops mid-punch. His grip relaxes, and the body just slides out the window into the bush right in front of you. His face is swollen beyond belief. You can see a couple teeth missing. His blood is just pulling at the front of his mouth. And as you see it, but right in your face, you feel that itch already begin to hit. Smelling a little bit is not bad, but seeing it when you're this hungry, just so easily in front of you. And need you to go ahead and resist hunger frenzy.
All right, I am rolling. What am I rolling for that?
Unspent willpower and half your humanity rounded down.
Okay, 2, 4, 6 successes.
6 successes. You're able to pull it in for now.
Relax.
You are starving, as you can hear that dictator inside you. This has gone on long enough. Just eat the poor boy so we can get this shit taken care of.
No, I can handle this. We can handle this. I need to exert a little bit of control just like that. If we go through everybody, we have the power. We have the power. The power.
You are going to lose everything we have worked so hard here for, Grayson. Just do what you're too fucking pathetic to do.
Again, so much to learn. You do. We will do it my way for now. You will be fed. We will be fed. We will. As I'm going to continue going around, and anybody I see like flailing and what, I'm just going to start dominating, like left and right. Calm.
This rapid succession of your ability back and forth. You bust open the front of this doorway, slamming it open. Immediately you see 3 people, you point at them, calm, they just stop. Just foaming at the mouth, wide-eyed and terrified in fear. They just stop for a moment, just watching you pass by. As you begin flying through your facility, what are you doing? What are you looking for?
First thing, I am going to make my way down to Acer's room. Hopefully he bunked up there.
Make your way to Acer's room. Are you taking through the normal means or the secret passages?
The secret passages.
Able to turn a corner, just calm. People stopping what they're doing, mid-fights being broken. People just immediately hearing your words. These mortals who trust you and revere you hear your words like a lighthouse in the night, giving them some type of anchoring to this insanity. It's not long before you're able to make it into the secret passages, navigating through, just tumbling over situations. You make it into the lab, you sit out, and you don't see him.
Acer? Are you there?
You look around and you don't see him.
You've got to be kidding me.
You do hear something, though.
Immediately sense the unseen.
You flare sense the unseen. The room begins to illuminate this slightly greenish bluish aura that helps you pierce through the darkness. No roll necessary, as no one's hiding. There's someone sitting in Acer's chair. A woman. Darker, tan skin, black hair. She just stares at you, smiling. You can see a scalpel in her hand.
May I help you?
The head tilts to one side. She slowly stands up. You're one of them. You helped her. As it slowly begins to stand up from its seat. The body kind of slacking to one side, like it's almost being puppeted. Invisible strings almost cause strange, jerky motions. You're her friend. I've seen you 2 talk. I've seen 3 of you talk. She did this to me.
What is your name?
What does it matter?
Yeah.
I'm dead.
Yeah. But you're still here talking to me.
Shut up. As you say that, she convulses and twists her head in this strange, loud snapping motion. You can hear the air escape the side of the bones in her vertebrae as loud bone cracking sounds reverberate through her entire body. Beakers just fly off the shelves, shattering in each direction around you.
Okay, I understand. Seems you're upset.
Upset? The head snaps back towards you, pointing the scalpel towards you. Upset?
Can you tell me what's wrong?
You want to know what's wrong? You want to know? I want you all to hurt. As long as she is here, as long as she lives, she's going to suffer. She took everything from me! And now, I'm going to take away everything from her and everyone that cares. Because I don't have anyone that cares anymore. As she very quickly just throws her arm open, you can see as she takes the scalpel, just making eye contact with you, and slowly begins to draw it.
Wait.
Arm.
Wait, I'm here. I'm listening to you. I want to know more.
As you say this, that smell of blood immediately begins to fill as the wound opens along the side of her arm. I need you to make a hungry frenzy check.
Boy, oh boy, do I love making these. You're running like Crescent now. Good lord. I can eat. 5 successes this time.
That's enough to hold you. But just barely. As you are starving, fresh human blood begins to pool out as she flicks it off the scalpel to the side. No, you don't want to talk. I know exactly what you are. I know exactly what she is, and if you are like her, then I know what you are.
You do know what I am, but you can see that I'm still here talking to you. You have to admit that means something.
I've seen you skulk around at night. I've seen the way you treat these people that you care about. You walk into their rooms and counsel them. Offer them help, and they trust you. And then with a wave of your hand, you feed on them. You drink them. You betray that trust. No, as she runs the blade down the side of her chest, cutting another wound. Need another hunger frenzy check.
God damn it. 6 successes.
Your mouth is salivating. You feel the teeth poke through as you are just clenching white knuckle as another long gash tears itself across this woman's chest. See? You don't have to give in. I know what you really are. It's plastered all over your face. Fine. If you'll make it easy, I'll just have to force your hand. With that, we're going to go ahead and fade out over to Acer for a moment. Acer, the time you've waited sitting in the dark, the sounds of chaos rip and tear outside, like a never-ending maelstrom of pure chaos. Do you do anything while you wait? You've called for help, but the chaos is still raging outside, and you are by yourself. The door has long stopped banging. It appears your assailants probably found something else to keep themselves occupied for now. But how long that lasts, you don't know.
If they stop banging, then I'm going to try and risk it, and hopefully Medico has left the medical ward, and I can go back there.
You're going to try and stealth your way through.
No, fuck it. I'm just going to sprint. Fuck stealth.
Just sprinting?
Yeah, no. I'm not risking that again.
You feel that fear creep into your mind, but you... 1, 2... You fling the door open on 2 and rush out, taking lefts, rights, trudging down the hall. As you are running, there are people slamming up as the chaos unfolds in front of you. No matter which direction you go, there is someone still in a brawl, something happening, someone getting hit by something, someone getting stabbed by something, punches flying there, blood splattering there. It is just a never-ending string of constant chaos. However, as you make your way through the halls, you see there are some that are different, that simply just look at you as you pass by, calmly, still wide-eyed and not necessarily maybe aware of where they are. But it does make you able, sprinting as fast as you can, to get back to the medical ward. You can see as you get back there, cabinets have been ripped open. Needles have been flung everywhere. Bandage and medical supplies. It's a mess in here. Beds have been turned over. Curtains ripped off the ceiling. You don't see Medico anywhere nearby here.
Okay, good. I'm going to see if I can find any amount of laughing gas.
Go ahead and make a wits and awareness.
1.
Luckily, it's not that hard to find. The tricky part is getting it. As you rummage and tear through this space, it takes you a hot minute. You have to kind of duck down as people trudge past, full storm in front of you, but you're able to keep yourself at low cover. You do find it. It's chained to a wall, as you see a very large tank, maybe about the size of you. As these things are typically securely fastened, as they're pretty heavy.
Plan B, grab the chain and rip it off the wall.
I need a strength plus athletics to see if you just rip it right out of the wall.
2 success.
2 successes. You don't break the chain, but the wall is plaster. You are able to stick one foot against it, pull as hard as you can. It resists you, and you resist. Finally, you're able to pop it off the side of the wall. The canister begins to lean forward, and you manage to catch it as it leans against you, and it is very heavy.
Oh, the joys of this. Okay. Power's out. Air conditioning system doesn't work. How am I going to do this? Yeah, fuck it. I'm just going to drag it until I find a big crowd, and then I'm just going to open it up.
You're able to drag it. It is effort, though. You begin dragging it through the hallway, just left and right, as people are stumbling around you. To your astonishment, as you begin dragging it around the corner, you see someone go, fuck! Whoosh! It flies right past you, tumbles, hits the ground, and spirals out. Michael is just full-on fastballed somebody through this hallway. You see him kind of land down almost on all threes, looking over to you. He's like, there you fucking are!
Yep. Crispy as I'll ever be. Hey, help me out with this.
Oh, for fuck's sake. He runs up to you and almost lifts it out of your hands without seeming to bat an eyelash. It's like a paperweight to him. Why am I holding this? What are we doing?
Laughing gas. We don't breathe. We'll be fine. Everyone else will.
You know what? I don't think we have enough time to really talk about this situation. Fine. Where are we going?
Everywhere. Just start running, and I'm just going to open it.
You pop up the side door and begin unscrewing the valve, and immediately you can hear the sound of gas escaping the canister. It's like, running? Okay, running is what I'm doing! And he holds it over the side of his shoulder and begins just blitzing it down the hall.
That's all I can do.
Alright, in this moment, as security sprinklers begin to come down, Michael is now running off with your plan. You're still in the hallway. Chaos for now is still going in full swing. Are you doing anything else?
Yeah, I'm gonna run over and check on my sister.
Okay. So with that, we'll just go ahead and go back to Grayson. As at this point, you're white-knuckling. Your fangs have poked through your gums as you are doing everything you can just to resist the savory siren's call of this fresh blood. As now, all around you, things begin to vibrate. You look around as beakers begin to slowly float off the shelves. Instruments begin to hover in midair. Books begin to fall off the shelves, but don't quite hit the ground as things begin to just almost vibrantly and suspend themselves in midair. I'm going to show you what kind of beast you are. You're going to kill. You're going to kill this. You're going to do exactly what Crescent did to my family, did to me. But this time, I'm going to be a lot nicer than her. I'm going to give you a choice. Either you're going to kill me, or I'm going to kill you. As all of a sudden, 3 or 4 beakers just come flying at you at a rapid pace.
I'm rapid reflex up to her.
You're right in front of her. You are going to try and dodge?
Yes.
All right. You are able to move, so go and give me a dexterity plus athletics.
Okay. Yeah, it's 2 successes.
2 successes.
Literally the best I can get.
As you rapid reflex, you just cover your face as you rapid reflexes straight up to your point blank, but in the process, you feel glass just shatter across your skin. Superficial cuts just slice into you. You feel tendon and muscle snare and catch you as you fly by. You do only take 1 point of superficial damage, which unfortunately turns to aggravated, as you are just beaten and assailed by debris at a rapid rate after another as you cannonball through it, but now you're right in your face. What do you want to do?
I grab her neck and I force her down to the ground. I make sure as I put my knees on her arms and I grab her neck and I lift my other hand up in front of her. It's clawed.
You throw her to the ground. Go ahead and give me. She doesn't fight you. She doesn't fight you as you grab her. As your hand wraps around her neck and you throw her to the ground, you hear a squeak, as her hand goes down and you hold it down as she just looks at you smiling as you are now point blank to this blood. It's going to be very hard to resist this, being so close to it. You could feel your mouth water. You could feel your face pulled back in a full snarl. I'm going to need another hunger frenzy check. This one's going to be harder. As you've been resisting it consistently, you will eventually break.
Yeah, no, it's not happening, this one. Yeah, nope, only 4.
4. The dictator in your mind. I've had enough. We have been beaten, shot, burned, and our home is in ruins, Grayson. Let's eat. You can give in to the frenzy as you lean into it. You feel this monstrous growl escape your throat, vibrating in your chest as this wide, cracked, insane smile is plastered across this woman's face. You can burn willpower to try and resist it for some time, but you risk letting this individual go. She is obviously possessed, and you don't know what kind of danger she could wind herself in when she's out of your grasp, but she's also in danger here.
I'm burning a willpower.
You give yourself a second of composure as you feel yourself just white-knuckling, your grip still on her, and she just laughs. What? She's not your flavor? Come on, have a taste.
No, we are not perfect beings. I know that. We're monsters. But I am here to show you that there is moments that we can have. We have moments that keep us here in the moment, in this world. You don't have to do this. I don't know what she did. I don't know. But I can tell you, she is sorry. She pays for it every night.
We are now going to enter a very dangerous gambit because of your choices. This is going to be a social conflict. But Acer, you immediately fly through the secret passages, going left and right, panic welling up as you can hear your sister's voice as well. And Grayson doesn't sound good. The fear begins to well within your chest as you run faster. Just as you come around the secret entrance to see the slightly cracked door, you can see in full view, Acer, Grayson's on top of your sister as fresh blood is welling from her wounds. Your sister's eyes look over to you, her head snaps and smiles. Goodbye, brother. And with that, the door slams in your face. The secret entrance, you hear the sounds of latches locking shut as the door is slammed right in your face forcefully. As Acer, your sister's alone with a monster.
Fuck.
The walls are not thick enough to block sound as Grayson, from the start of this conflict. We'll do a 3 in, 3 out. But every round, it's going to cost you willpower to try and resist this hunger. This ghost smiles at you through the guise of Acer's sister. What do you know? You think she's sorry? You think she has guilt? You didn't see what she did to my family. You didn't see what she did as I sat in a closet as just a little girl. Do you know what it's like to watch your whole family get ripped apart by a monster? By one of you? She spits in your face.
You know what? I actually have a perfect example. Right here, right now. What you are doing to my family. My family! And yours is sitting out there. The one that you are taking advantage of. His family. You're taking advantage of it. Or are you any different? You want to know if she suffers every night? I see it on her face and it destroys me. Every night. There's a bloody tear that starts to drip down underneath the mask.
This would be a charisma plus persuasion.
Okay. Actually, that's 4 successes. That was a critical.
She looks back up with you as that bloody tear slowly falls down and dots the side of her face. Her head cracks as more debris begin to hover and vibrate, just jerking very violently from here to there. Debris begins falling over. You can feel this almost swirling that begins to happen in this room. How could you ever understand? You're one of them! You know what the worst part is? She let me live! She saw me. She saw me, and I thought this monster was going to kill me. I screamed for my daddy, but his head rolled on the floor! And then she just let me go. You know what it's like to be truly alone? To see what I saw and have everybody tell me that I'm crazy! I was in hell! I was just a kid!
And so was she. She didn't get a chance. She was my family. And the next time I saw her, her pulse wasn't even beating. No, I don't know exactly how you felt, but God, have I felt alone and hopeless. When there was a tree, when I was alive, bleeding, barely able to get a gasp of air into my lungs, and I was alone in the wood. I was alone. Sorry about that, but this does not make it right. It doesn't make it better, and it won't.
Go ahead and give me another charisma plus persuasion.
Okay. 3 successes.
3 successes. She shakes her head violently as the torrent only continues to spiral out of control as you take another point of superficial willpower damage. How much willpower do you have left?
I have 3 willpower points left.
You take another point of superficial willpower damage as she immediately her eyes locked on you. You don't get to play that game. You don't get to use your life as leverage. Being alone in the woods, you had someone rescue you. Nobody came for me. You don't get to act like you understand, because you don't. At the end of the day, at the end of this never-ending hell, you want to know how I died? Why you got to come back, play dress up with your life, act like a king? I fell down the darkest places. While you got rescued, I was left abandoned. And you know what my final salvation was? That shadow came back. I was high out of my mind. I didn't even know where I was or who I was with anymore, but I recognized that shadow. It ripped my throat out. I wanted so badly for all of it to end. And then fate has even a crueler joke. It has a crueler joke, because I woke up here watching her sleep during the day. I don't know what I did as a child to deserve this, but this is my hell. So you can't just sit there and act like you're anything but what you are. A monster. And as she says these words to you, you can hear almost this overlapping voice. They're both very feminine, but they don't sync up with each other.
I did have all these good things, and then I became this, and then now every single night. As I take off the mask, I throw it to the side. Every single night, things like this happen to me. This is my penance. This is our penance in this life. Some of us get to choose and others do not. Maybe I'm paying for her wrongs. Maybe every night when this happens to me, however it happens, whether it's you, something else, I accept it. I accept it. Because if you want to make peace, if you really want to heal the scars, you need to make peace with the demon that gave them to you. And I look closer to her, but I'm almost looking past her and to see if I could reach out to that other voice. I am going to try to use dominate, and I will say freedom.
All right. For this, it's going to be a charisma plus your domination.
Here's the big risk. I am going to rouse the blood for an extra die.
I'm also going to pull from my blood pile. I will pull 2 dice.
I pass the rouse check.
You do not get hungrier, despite you salivating profusely as Vitae just drips almost out of your mouth down the side of your face as you try to push everything you can into this compulsion. Go ahead and give me a charisma plus dominate, and you can add an extra die as you did rouse.
Has anybody used our blood die for tonight?
No.
All right, Acer and Crescent, do you mind if I
Do it.
Do your thing.
I will use one of our blood bags and have my fistful of bloody dice.
All right, you take a blood bag.
Can he use more than one?
You can.
Can he use 2?
You can use more than one, but the risk of messy criticals.
Brad took 2.
Yeah, I'll match you. I'll take an extra, so 2.
All right, you had 2.
Wait. Oh, shit. I have 8 successes with a critical.
A normal crit?
Normal critical. Oh no, they're fangs. So they're fangs. I'm sorry, excuse me, but yes.
So 8 successes with a messy critical.
It wasn't a skull, so.
That is true. That's the good part.
Unfortunately, I think I you gotta let her ride.
Well, this is what happens. You feel your domination take hold. Your beast, the will of that dictator, you see through your sister's consciousness. You find Arya in there. You find the soul twisted and mangled. And as the words you speak say freedom, you hear in your mind, this isn't over. As suddenly Acer's sister's body goes lax and she screams in your face, wide-eyed. Acer, you watch as the door suddenly just springs open, just slamming open as supplies suddenly drop to the floor. Beakers shatter, glass shatters everywhere, books fly open. A whole chaos of explosion erupts as you were able to watch firsthand Grayson, hand around your sister's throat as she is screaming. But Grayson, in this moment, it's too much. This push of power, this is your prize. You are hungry. You conquered the spirit, and now you get to enjoy this by yourself. Because this messy critical, you have lost all control. And Acer, with a horrified expression, you watch as Grayson, with fangs wide, slams straight down onto your sister's neck, biting hard. She screams in bloody agony as he begins to feed. How do you react?
Sorry, Grayson. Acer's instantly going to lunge forward and knee him in the face.
Ow.
Grayson, you have lost all control. Nothing is going to tear you from this feed, and you are going to hold on with a burning grip. So, I need you to go ahead and roll me a strength plus brawl with a specialty in grappling versus Acer, your strength plus brawl, as you're going to try and pull him off of her.
Strength and... Whew. Okay, so my grappling gives me an extra 1, correct?
It does indeed. And you are wearing your gloves, so you get another 1.
Jesus! 6 successes. No, but
1.
Acer, you fly off the handle as you grab onto Grayson, try to pull him off with all your strength. You dig your heels in, but Grayson, like a wild animal, just clutches your sister tighter, almost like wrapping his arms, digging his nails, the gloves themselves even snagging onto her as your sister screams, fades and goes limp as the kiss begins to take effect. As Grayson, you start to drink and drink. The rush of Vitae immediately begins to flood your system, and you drink deep. You're already frenzied. You're not going to stop until you're down to 1. So, you've now slated 1, and you're now down to 3. Acer, what do you do in this moment as you're pulling and pulling and pulling, but he's just not tearing off?
Acer's frantic at this moment. He doesn't know what to do, so he's just going to keep trying to pull him off her.
You're going to try again?
Yeah.
Same rolls.
Yeah.
Same rolls coming at you. 3 4s. 4 successes.
1.
You feel the panic welling up inside you, Acer. You feel those tears begin to fall down the side of your face as you helplessly tear at what might as well be a mountain of strength. This creature, your friend, continues to feed and tear, just clutching your sister to his chest like a rag doll as her hand goes limp and her skin starts to grow pale. In this moment, as this fear begins overwhelming, as you're just begging for Grayson to stop, what goes through your mind? What are you thinking about?
The only thing he's thinking about is trying to pull Grayson off his sister. Like, that's all that's going through his head. There's an innate fear in there that she's gonna die, but that's about the gist of it.
What do you do in this moment? You get the sense that you may not be strong enough to pull him off. What are you willing to do to save your sister?
Acer's gonna quickly get off Grayson and go to his small UV light that he had for testing purposes, and he's gonna turn that on and aim it at Grayson.
Immediately, your skin begins to scorch. The hood back, the mask off. It hits you in the side of the face, and it burns fierce. You are under this hunger frenzy, though. You're going to bite through this pain. You are going to get your meal as you continue to feed. You do take another point of superficial damage. As this UV light begins to singe off the side of your face, you look at it wide-eyed like a feral animal as you continue to drink deep. Acer, in your panic, as you just pray and watch, you watch the flesh off the side of Grayson's face almost begin to crisp and burn as he just stares at you, continue to drink. As by my count, Are you down to 1 hunger yet, Grayson?
I'm pretty sure I am at this point.
We've had 3 rolls. You were at hunger 4, so you would be. You feed and feed and feed despite the pain. And finally, you can feel that dictator. What a fool. As finally that presence begins to fade backwards, your senses coming back to you. You can feel the fresh blood down the side of your face, and it is loaded with pure fear. Fear for one's survival, fear for one's future, the longing to live future, the resonance beyond anything you've ever tasted. Something more, something stronger than a resonance.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't have time to dwell on it as finally your senses snap back to you as the pain continues to sear across your face.
And I immediately just roll off of her, throw the jacket over me and just try to find some type of dark corner away.
Rapid reflexes. It's easy enough. You roll off, grab the jacket, cover your face, and you're off in a dark corner by the small study behind the chair. Claws digging into the wall as fresh blood just drips from your face as Asa, your sister, lays there. 2 large puncture wounds on her neck as blood slowly begins to seep out of it. She lays there, unmoving.
As soon as he jumps off, Acer's just going to grab her and bring her towards him and check her pulse, see if she has any sort of chance of survival whatsoever.
As you check her pulse, you find that there is none. But her body is still warm. Her heart has just stopped. Lost a lot of blood, but it might be savable. If you can do something in this moment. As Grayson, you just look wide-eyed as your senses barely start coming back to you. That you're battling with the great satisfaction of finally feeding. But as your senses begin to flood back in this terrifying moment, you see that Acer checks the pulse and her sister is not moving. If either of you want to do something.
I can't do anything other than CPR, so he's just gonna do that.
AED. I will rapid reflex and try and find one. I assume I would know where one is.
Easily. You both know this facility at the back of your hand. As you rush out to the hall with your rapid reflexes, you're able to spring out, find a nearby hall, and find the life-saving red box with a medical plus on the side. You bust it open. It's plastic. It shatters in your newly refreshed grip, as you could see a defibrillator coiled and ready.
I'm snatching it right off, and I am all haste right back down there. I am knees down, and I just can't lock eyes with Acer as I just shake my head. As I'm opening up the bag and I'm getting out the sticky pads, and as I go to touch her, Acer, I need open chest. I need to stick these on.
Acer at this point hears you and is following directions, but he is not acknowledging you in any way, shape, or form.
That's fine.
So as soon as you say that, he tears open the shirt and pretty much keeps doing his thing until you can get the pads on.
Working together, you work quickly to open up the front of her blouse. It's nice and hard. You're able to get the sticky pads on. Since, Grayson, you're the one doing this, I'll have you roll. Go ahead and give me an intelligence plus a medicine check.
Oh, thank goodness. I put some into medicine. Okay, 2 successes.
2 successes. Clear! The chest rises and falls. Nothing. The wound on her neck still bleeding.
I see that, and I lean down for a second, hesitate for a moment as I look up at Acer and very quickly just close the wound on her neck.
You lean down and quickly lick it.
The AED should be checking again to hit it again.
The body goes rigid. Go ahead and give me one more intelligence plus medicine. Slightly higher difficulty.
There it is. 4 successes this time.
4 successes. In this moment, Acer, as you watch your sister being chest paddled, her body go rigid as possibly life-saving electricity tries to jumpstart her heart. goes through your mind? What do you think? How do you feel?
At this point, he is just a blank slate. He is thinking of nothing but her, and he's kind of on a razor's edge right now. He doesn't know whether to be like positive or negative. He's just waiting to see how things turn out.
The body sits down to the floor as the charge leaves her body. You wait for a moment. Wait for another moment. She immediately begins coughing and sputtering as her body just convulses back to life.
I stand up and I back up.
Getting her up, trying to make it so,
recovery position.
You
basically
roll her over to recover as she coughs and sputters. Her skin is ice cold. She is alive and she is breathing. And as she just coughs and sputters, you just hold her over, trying her best to make sure she doesn't choke on her own tongue. She goes limp, but she's still breathing, exhausted, unconscious, but breathing.
And seeing how cold she is, I'm going to instantly just put her in the bed, cover her, see if I can get something to just put 3 covers on her just to get her warmed up.
For now, as you pile on blankets, anything you have to keep her warm and comfortable in your bed. And you watch all this happen, Grayson. You know, you may have saved her life. But how do you feel knowing that you almost quickly ended it as well?
See, Grayson, once he backs up and he watches Acer from a very healthy distance, as he carries his sister away, I just can't help but look at her neck, and for the moment, he just thinks, every day I'm horrified of that razor's edge. As I walk over to the mask that I threw, and I pick it up again, but before I put it on, I take a long look at it. I kind of roll it around in my hand, a few blood splatters on it. Am I just wearing the mask of a human? What am I even? What are we even doing? So I take the mask, I put it back on my face, and I attach it. As I look over to Acer, do you mind if I borrow this?
Acer doesn't break eye contact from his sister. He just keeps staring at her with this aura of relief and anger. And he just goes, yeah, sure.
I'm sorry. What I did.
Where's Crescent?
She'll be here soon.
Find Medico. I attacked her. I'm hoping she's still around within the secret tunnels.
I'll scan them and find her. We'll stay here with her. Please.
Yeah.
Can maybe see if we can try to see if I can get the power back on.
He's going to toss you the little hand flashlight.
It's like, catch it in my hand. Thank you.
Generators are down below, lowest level. Passcode is 3865.
Got it. Before I say anything else, I start out to the exit and very gently close his door as I make my way to the secret tunnels, look for Medico. As I click the flashlight on.
You scour through the secret tunnels, leaving Acer alone to tend to his sister. As you pass through these halls, glancing at the secret peepholes that allow you to keep eyes upon your facility through those secret passages. It is a bittersweet feeling to see that the rioting begins to subside. Many individuals seem to be unconscious and unmoving. Others laughing hysterically or resting peacefully in the middle of the hallways. It is pure chaos. Unfortunately, there are some people that don't move because they are no longer with us. In one fell swoop, something has turned your facility upside down from within. As you take your rightful place, scouring through the shadows of your home, a set of eyes dead to the world, we fade away now from this chaos, as the danger for now has passed. We go over to someone else. Our friends expect you, Crescent, to be showing up at any minute, to do what you can, be a part of this coterie. You're elsewhere. As you've been walking a long stroll over the highways, walking on the service roads, your mind, all you can think about is you've had enough. You are so tired, and now no one is here to stop you from going to go do what you finally want. You are going to go see Eleonora. How do you feel knowing you're going to go finally get to see her? Finally giving in to that temptation.
Definitely mixed. I feel like Crescent's 2 steps forward and 1 step back, just constantly kind of pacing, going back and forth.
It only makes the walk go longer, as you do find yourself stopping every few paces to look back, but you keep going. You keep walking, pulled by this unshakable desire. You just can't fight it anymore. You're not sure how much time has passed. Minutes turn into hours. As you find yourself navigating through core Seattle, barely aware of traffic laws, crossing streets when it damn well suits you, shoving past people. You barely hear the shouts of their complaints. They are fodder. The longer you walk, the more this oblivion inside you seems to really meld with what you are. And before long, you find people don't bump into you anymore. They sidestep you.
Yeah.
You like the control, don't you? You like being feared. With a smile on your face, you saunter up the steps of Eleanor's cathedral. You open the doors and it is empty, save for a few attendants tending to candlelight. Oh, how much you've missed being home. Grayson's facility is your home, but this is also your home. That confliction arises again, and you look back from where you came just a moment before you let the door close. Grayson's place may be your home, but for now, this is what you want, and this is what you need. Your footsteps echo on the cathedral stone. You look around, and even to your delight, you don't even see Enzo. The cathedral is silent, sleeping. It's been a long time since you've walked into a place so quiet. Grayson's facility is always so bustling. Even in the evening before all the tenants go to sleep, there's just so many mouths breathing, people talking, food eating, just mundane wastes of time. But here it's quiet. It's so quiet.
I'm just going to close my eyes and listen for anything.
You listen. You can hear traffic outside, but the cathedral is just quiet, save for the footsteps that pitter here and there from attendants. You know, Eleanor's ghouls attending to the cathedral. And it dawns on you, there's more staff here than you remember. While there was only 2 or 3, you could hear 6, 7, 8 pairs going about the cathedral's business. Seems in your absence, some things have changed. Maybe Eleonora, her status, finally, taking far root in the city more than you imagined in your away. And knowing Eleonora has been growing without you makes you feel what?
Sick.
You feel this revulsion. You've been left behind. It makes you jealous. It makes you bitter. But then you hear her voice. My child! Your eyes snap up and you can see in the upper rafters Eleonora. Probably the most beautiful creature you've seen in ages. As she looks horrified looking down at you as you realize you are a mess. Your face is half burned off to the side, beet red and flustered. Your teeth show sharp points as you can't help but make almost a bestial snarl. Your clothes are dirty and tattered. You are soaking wet from the coming down of the snow. Your boots are filthy and you realize you've tracked mud into her church. My child, you look like hell! As she pulls away and immediately comes racing down the side of the stairwell, the spiral staircase towards you. Her long evening dress cinched up to her neck in almost the most modest of fashion, but still shows every curvature of her form. The dress flowing behind her, a charade of purples and blue hues. What? Child, why are you dragging mud into my home? What is going on?
You are beautiful.
You collapse in her arms. She catches you. What has gotten into you? As she slowly lets you lean into her and sits down in a pew with you, cradling you in her arms like a child.
There's a lot going on.
My child, as she cups her hands around your cheek and slowly lifts your gaze to look at her, you can talk to me about everything. I am always here for you. I've told you that.
I don't know what to do. Am I a failure?
Feel Eleanor's hand gently stroke the back of your head down your red hair. A finger brushes against the chafed and charred skin along your flesh. It's sensitive, but it's a warm gesture. You can never be a failure to me.
Why did you choose me then?
Because I saw a potential in you that no one else did. I watched you from afar when Enzo told me about you.
Enzo tricked me.
No, darling. He was helping me. Now you need help, my child. As, while she holds your chin with the other side of her hand, she slowly raises it. A long pointed nail in her thumb, she slices her palm open. As you can smell fresh vitae pool to the surface. Feed. And then we can talk. She slowly grabs you by the back of your head and presses you towards her open palm. Do you fight her?
No.
As she gently, with her own hand, presses your lips against the open wound, and you can taste sweet vitae. Without a moment's hesitation, you grab both sides of her wrists like a starving animal and begin drinking deep from the wound, even slicing the wound open further just to let the flow come faster. The potency is sweet. It is so thick and rich. It sends electricity through your entire system. That burning bond, that flame, that love within you only ignites brighter as you drink deep upon Eleanor's vitae. She hums gently as she pats the back of your head, whispering, whoever did this to you, I know you made them pay. You've done well. Because of you, we get to stay here in this city. Because of you, I finally have the respect I deserve. You pull away, finally. You don't need much. Her blood is so pure. as within a short moment, you are now back down to 1 hunger. But she does pull at the back of your head, forcing you to stop. I need you to go ahead and make a hunger frenzy check, as you want more.
3 successes.
3 successes. 3 is just enough. As you flex your fangs toward her, she says, discipline, my child. Her words ring like the clarity of bells in your mind, and you pull back gently. She pulls a small kerchief from her blouse and sets you upright, gently wiping your face. She smiles earnestly at you.
I want to come home.
And as I've always told you, this will always be your home. For tonight, we will rest together. And then tomorrow, you will accept the prince's offer. You will stand by my side, as you are so special. I handpicked you out of a sheep of suffering when you showed the greatest of resilience. And I want no one else by my side as we lead this city into a new era for our kind.
I want to travel. I want to do things.
She stops you. All in good time. You see, first things first. To get what we all want, we need to make sure the city is safe for us. There's so many things I want to rob you of your joy, Crescent, of the things that you want. So many leeches out there that just take and hurt needlessly. After all, look at you. Do you really think, with how weak you are right now, you would be strong enough to fight the world? To see the things that I have seen? There's no shame in it, Crescent. You are young. So stand by me as she forces you to look at her again in the eyes. Her reddish violet eyes piercing through to you. Stay with me and grow stronger, so that someday we'll all get what we want. How do you want to respond?
I want to ask if my friends will be safe.
With your bond, that is a viable question. And the question slips, and Eleonora's smile reaches from ear to ear, beautiful and shining white, fangs long and beautiful. She grabs you by both your hands. Of course they'll be safe, because you will make it safer for them. Join me, Crescent. I want you. I need you by my side. You're the only one that I can trust.
You have Enzo.
Enzo is no longer with us.
What?
She looks away from you, almost embarrassed. He has chosen other loyalties.
What do you mean he's what? Where is he?
I don't know. Don't you understand, Crescent? You are the youngest of my children. I love you and Enzo equally, from the pit of my soul. But Enzo refused the offer that you had been made, and he left us. He walked away from us.
Why? How?
I don't know, and it is his reason, but he has made it very clear that I had misjudged him. Seems he has grown too worldly. But you are different. You won't disappoint me, will you?
Oh.
Then it's settled. Tomorrow, you and I will go to the prince together as one, and you will be my hound. You can see your sire looking down at you, face beaming. You feel how proud she is of you. As you sit here, charred and mangled, half starved like an animal. She is proud of you. She wants you with her. You finally have done it. You have what you wanted. You finally beaten Enzo at something. And you are much more worthy now.
What do you need me to do?
Eleonora pulls you and letting you rest your head upon her lap as she just slowly strokes your hair. For now, rest. Make yourself seemly, as tomorrow we will go to the prince and tell him you've changed your mind, and you will join me. Afterwards, you will go back to Grayson. You'll keep an eye on this speaker of the thin blood. You will make sure that he stays in line.
He's fine.
That's not him I'm worried about, Crescent. You see, there are so many thin bloods in this city, all conniving and scheming like a plague, hurting people. So your job, when we finally make you ready, you will join in our endeavor to keep this city cleansed. If Dragos wants to fold in the thin bloods, fine, but let him have this opportunity. But you are going to be the failsafe. Your first orders from me is to watch Acer. And the moment that any of his ilk step out of line, the moment they show a moment's hesitation, you will end them. You will be ruthless. You will be efficient. You will make sure that whatever choice Acer gives them, you make it very clear, without speaking, that there really isn't a choice. If they refuse him, you will return later, like the shadow you have become, and you will push them into oblivion. What do you want to say?
I want to say that I don't think that's necessary, and I don't think that thin bloods will be a problem.
Speaking against your sire, she's so proud of you. That won't do, Crescent. Eleanor is so much wiser than you. She has lived so many more years than you, and you have seen the damage that rampant thin bloods, ghouls can cause. Your mind flashes back to when you first met Grayson. Ghouls stealing people off the streets. Acer, such a threat he was until you and Grayson finally put a leash on him. Made him understand. Eleonora speaks impenetrable logic, and you almost feel honored to be carrying such a responsibility for her. You're not even a hound yet, and she's already has so many plans for you.
I'll do what I can.
And you always give your best, my darling Crescent. Together, a new moon has risen over this city, and we're going to be a part of its change.
Without Enzo, though.
We'll deal with him in time. As the way I see it, she leans down and gently kisses the top of your forehead. You are so much more than he could ever be. And I know you won't disappoint me. My sweet daughter. As we fade away, as this night reaches its twilight, there are still many questions afoot. But for now, I'd like to thank you all for joining us. Any support is always appreciated, but just viewership is always enough. Stay safe, everyone. Good night, and thank you all for joining.